Sorry, this is Thor 436, and every now and again I like to do little sequences or little stories, like collections, and so I have a trilogy lined up for you, an unofficial trilogy about the friendship between 90s Thor and Crusher Man, which begins here in Thor 436. This is by Tom Falcon and Ron Frenz, and we begin with a lovely bit of continuity and my favourite superhero in all the world of all time ever. The Avengers have been holding on to Crusher Man's magical ball and chain since his last defeat in an issue of Kaiser. Now the magical ball and chain has sprung to life and is bouncing around trying to find its master. It smashes through the roof and flies off, and so Captain America calls in 90s Thor, who is sent in pursuit since Crusher Man is a regular opponent of Thor. Crusher Man is an interesting case where he has kind of done it all. He is a general Marvel Universe baddie. He has never stayed confined to one book or one character. He did start in Thor, but a lot of people think of him as a Hulk baddie too. I tend to think a lot of him has been an Avengers baddie, but he's really just an everyone baddie. Crusher Man, he is in a relationship with Jamelia Jamil. This is her out of costume in a bar. They get married a few years after this, and they are one of the few supervillain marriages. Here she is in costume, and then Crusher Man, he reforms after having done a big energy implosion when he fought Kaiser, and he gets his ball and chain back. And we are running in with 90s Thor versus Crusher Man, except 90s Thor is a loser. He really is. And he actually crashed into Crusher Man by mistake because his cape was covering his face because the wind blew it up. Then he is trying to apologise for being such a klutz, and he gets smacked around by Crusher Man. The more and more 90s Thor that I review, the more and more validated my point about 90s Thor being despised by his own creators seems. We have our fight, and it is very one-sided. 90s Thor is getting his arse kicked again. Here, Crusher Man literally stomps him into the ground and then leaves laughing because he decides that 90s Thor isn't worth his time. 90s Thor is the Marvel hero who possesses the least amount of dignity. I think that is his superpower. I remember viewer Bufka Usseltine, may he rest in cheese. He argued that 90s Thor was the everyman character, and it was a story about what if some Joe Schmo got the power of Thor. And that is fine, but I think that Joe Schmo wouldn't be this hopeless and consistently clumsy and awful at everything. Crusher Man and Jamelia Jamil, they had been split up by circumstance. Crusher Man was defeated, she was in jail, stuff like that. So Jamelia does a little vox pop on T4 to let Crusher Man know that she is still around. T4 was the shitty Channel 4 thing they did on weekends that she used to host before she moved to America a decade later. She would introduce the Hollyoaks omnibus, or there would be a painful skit with her and Nick Grimshaw. But this is definitely T4. They have got the identity, the big T. So it is nice that Marvel Comics is remembering Jamelia Jamil's British TV roots when she herself isn't. 90s Thor intercepts the reunion somehow. I didn't get how either 90s Thor or Crusher Man worked out this venue from the message Jamelia left. I said 90s Thor intercepts the reunion. What I really meant is 90s Thor fails at doing that. He gets belted away again. The only hit that 90s Thor has scored so far is fallen into Crusher Man. Ridiculous. 90s Thor is too much of a doormat to ever be a good character to headline a book. Even here, we have this big moment that is meant to be a victory, but it is another blunder. He uses his magic hammer to summon the lightning, which Crusher Man absorbs into himself, and he becomes bigger and more powerful. So that failed. But then, since his hammer can control lightning, 90s Thor uses it to try and trap lightning form Crusher Man inside the hammer. Except he struggles to do that because Crusher Man is too strong, and so he has to let loose all the lightning energy into the sky. And then afterwards, it is like a cartoon with it blowing up in his face. But this does seem to have tired out Crusher Man. So just when 90s Thor almost has won, he gets beaten up by Jamelia Jamil. I suppose one of the strengths of 90s Thor is stuff like this, his character. He sees Crusher Man and Jamelia Jamil together, and Crusher Man says that they didn't want to fight, they just wanted each other, and they are ganning straight. So 90s Thor backs down and lets them off, urging them to keep out of trouble. Him allowing them to go free will obviously develop into an unusual friendship, as 90s Thor, he has shown Crusher Man some compassion that regular Thor never would. And you'll see some more of that in the next few days. This is a technically good comic, but I just find 90s Thor to be almost grating to read because of how hopeless he is. He is too much like a comic relief character stuck in 4 stories. He would be good as comic relief on Avengers or whatever, but nearly every other writer treats him with respect, which he never really gets from Tom Falcon and Ron French. I'll give this 7 thumbs up. Up next on T4, Rick Edwards is interviewing Florence Welch about the time that she got fingered while crowd surfing.